Hey, what's up everybody, Chris here, back in No Man's Sky with some more updates to go over, as well as some secret changes that you're probably going to enjoy quite a bit. So, of course, patch 2.32 has been released yesterday. It contains a lot of interesting changes over there. Some of them I already covered them in a previous video, but there are a few changes that have been added on top since then. One of them is a secret addition that we talked about like a week ago or so, mainly in terms of the new Jetpack Style that I'm going to cover in just a little bit. And there's also some changes to certain encounters, like for example the freighter encounter that now finally gives rewards, and it's not just like that static thing that appears in front of you from time to time, but there's others in there as well that I do want to cover in this video. Now, the one thing that I do want to start with is maybe something you already noticed, and that's basically this awesome new looking jetpack skin. This is basically it right here, and honestly, in my opinion, it looks absolutely crazy. I just unlocked it over here at the character customization station, but of course this is something that I've unlocked by using mods, so only if you're on the PC version of the game can you get this, and it's probably going to get added eventually to one of these community events. But in the meantime, I do want to check it out and kind of showcase it to you guys. So here it is, and honestly, in my opinion, I think it looks absolutely amazing. They've done a marvelous job with this thing. I mean, so many details over there. Like you can see all of those all of those details, like wires, like LEDs going on, like LED lights. There's some pipes in it, and overall the style I think really fits the game, especially the new armor set. It just looks so freaking awesome. It's like having a whole spaceship on your back, but I just love this. So the one of the obvious choices, of course, outside of the fact that the model itself is more futuristic and better looking than the previous model, is also this tiny little robot over here. I mean, look how cute it is. He's no longer round and fluffy, and well, not really fluffy. It kind of looks more like a security camera, more so than the previous one. And he also has like a flash over there at the top. I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to be, but it kind of looks like a flash that you would use on one of those old cameras, even like some of the new ones. But of course, all of the functionalities of the jetpack still exist. The red line is still for your HP and the blue line for the shields. Also, the jet trails over here, or the exhaust, the thrusters, they are no longer hidden when you don't boost. They pretty much stay outside all the time, which is in contrast with the previous ones that you know, were kinda, they had this animation they would do when you would use your thruster. So they would exit a small little tray and start boosting away. So this is a stylistic change over here that I think honestly I'm liking. I like these thrusters, kind of like a car of sort. So this is basically how it looks, but I do want to mention the fact that this perfectly fits with the newest armor set. Well, except the head over here, everything is like the new armor set, and I have to appreciate the detail and, you know, the overall quality that Hello Games is putting into all of these. So I mean, all of these details over there, like you can see wires going on, tubes, all of these, you know, connections over there. I think this is some really high quality stuff that I want to see more of in the future. But let's actually go over some of the customization options, because I know many of you might be interested in these. So let's go over to the backpack. I think the areas that you control right now are a little bit better than on the old jetpack, because you kind of have a bit more room to play around with it. I mean, it looks a million times better. This is like way better than before. So you can really make some interesting concepts over here. But there's like more markings like this. I'm not even sure what this covers. So this covers the entirety of the back area, and if you go in with the blue, it's just like the small tubes over there, and the other blue, it's still at the top. So this is like the second style of markings, the third one, and the fourth one, which kind of looks like this. Personally, I just love it with no markings and just put it like this. Maybe a bit of red in there as well, or maybe like full on reds. Maybe something like this. I think this is nice. Yeah, I definitely like this red over here, this stylistic red. This is basically what I love about this new jetpack, the fact that you can control smaller parts to make it look a little bit more distinguished. So bam, there you have it. This is the new jetpack, everybody. This is how it looks, and the thing about this is that, well, once you use your thrusters, it kind of goes like this. So yeah, the thrusters no longer exit the tray, you just use them like this, and they're always going to be exposed. But otherwise, this is like one of the best looking concepts I've seen so far for No Man's Sky. Now the thing about this jetpack is that I'm expecting this to be released as soon as the next batch of events is going to happen, because we just finished tier 3 of the current event, and apparently you can go in and unlock some of these new personal identification banners, one for the Galactic Hub, for Specialist Polo, and Entity Nara banner. So I didn't get a chance to test these out yet, but this is how they look. So eventually I think that after this weekend's mission, the next tiers are going to be unlocked, and it should probably make its way in the shop right here for us to pretty much go ahead and unlock. So yeah, I guess that's that. Now as far as other changes go, there's others that have been added in patch 2.32 that I didn't get a chance to cover in the previous videos. So for example, the cuboid roof caps, they have finally been fixed to actually snap to the roof rather than the floor, which was an issue up until recently. So now when you place down a cuboid room, you're going to be able to actually snap those roof caps straight to the actual roof to make it actually look better. And it works the same with the round rooms as well as with the square rooms. So both of these can work pretty fine, but these roof caps don't work with regular walls, for example. So like the wooden walls, the concrete walls, they don't work with these ones, neither with their platforms. Another one is for the actual freighter space encounter, the derelict freighter space encounters, which have been called to be quite boring up until recently because they don't really reward you anything. Well, apparently they have added a chance to find cargo pods when you stumble upon one of these. I did go ahead and test these out, but for some reason I was simply unable to actually spawn any of these freighters. So I did want to show you some of these drop pods, but I simply couldn't. It just didn't spawn for me in the past like 1 hour and a bit. So I'm probably gonna test this a little bit later to see how it is. Maybe they even like nerfed the chance for freighters to actually spawn. Furthermore, Hello Games also added a toggle to the general options menu that lets you disable or enable auto torch. So this is like something that I'm a huge fan of, because I was previously pretty pissed at the fact that my character would constantly turn on automatically that torchlight in certain areas, like for example caves, underwater areas, or even for example in my own base. That's something that always pissed me on. So now there's an option in the general options menu to actually disable all of this, and leave that to your choice if you want to disable or enable it from the quick menu. But one final change that I'm going to cover is that of the living ship components and the time they take to actually mature, which, as you may or may not know, it's about 1 day at this point. Well, apparently sometimes it exceeded even like 24 hours, at least in my case I saw it even like 25 hours and a bit. So Hello Games came in, reduced that timer just slightly so that it doesn't exceed the 24 hours time limit anymore, which still kinda sucks. I was actually hoping that at least in this patch they would reduce the timer by at least half, because at this point most of the people who actually got the ship, well, they got it by skipping the timer and doing all sorts of, you know, jumps around and hoops and abuses here and there to actually skip it. So yeah, I was actually hoping that this would be removed entirely, but I guess Hello Games cares too much for their ships, and they consider them to be too big of a feature to not be kind of like a bit of a grind over there for most players. So yeah, I hope that that's just going to be the case for now, and eventually they are going to remove it, because it's ridiculous to wait 1 whole week to actually get a ship, especially since most players, at least until now, actually got it by skipping the timer through various means. But anyway, that's pretty much it with patch 2.32. Of course, there's other changes in there that I urge you to go ahead and check out. There's many fixes, many issues being addressed, and other additions that I find really exciting, and hopefully there's going to be more in the future as well. In the meantime, this has also been, you know, the jetpack, but let me know down below, what is your opinion of the new jetpack model? Are you planning to use it once it's going to be unlockable by players? And if so, what do you like the most about it? Leave your comment down below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.